Okay, guys, I figured I'd take you on a road trip since I hadn't done it in a while. When I was at a cemetery, I recorded for members only, as I
Head
do.
south toward Griggs
I owe
Road.
them a video for a little bit back, so I was out recording for them. But now we're gonna head towards the house, and I
Take
just
the
wanted
next right onto Griggs
to show
Road,
you
then turn right onto Ohio 511
the
South.
ride and let you see, where I'm at, and let you look around. In the memory of Rochester war veterans, Civil 1861 to 1865, Spanish 1898, and World 1917 to 1918. Well, that's cool. Here was a stone over here dedicated to the veterans. I wanted to read it. So you guys get to see, one of the areas where I'm out and riding around. We are in Rochester, Ohio. It's about 30-40 minutes from my house. But I'm staying close, like I told them, till my knee gets better, I get some treatments done on my leg, and I get, hopefully, my knee surgery done soon. Get it over with, and until I get healed back up.
Right onto Ohio 511
and
South.
I wish that thing would shut up. And once my leg gets healed up and I get my knee surgery over with, then I hope to be good to go, where I'll be able to record and go and be able to do a whole cemetery again, 4 or 5 a day like I used to.
Continue on Ohio 511
so much fun,
South for 9 miles.
I miss not being in the cemeteries every day, because I was used to being in them every day. Knock out 3 or 4 a day, no problem. But I hope to get back to it, but this past year really took a hard hit on my health, but hopefully it's on a turnaround and it's getting better again. So I guess that's things you go through when you get older. You just have good years and bad ones. But hopefully the rest of this year is going to be good. I do hope. And so far everything's starting to prove pretty good. I'm walking without a cane. Before I couldn't even walk without a cane. Now I'm walking without a cane. I don't have to have it with me. I'm not wobbly like I was as bad. Occasionally I get wobbly, but I think it's my sugar. And my sugar's doing much better. That's why the place my leg's starting to heal a little bit, but it's not healing fast enough. It should have been healed. It's been over a year that place has been in my leg down there on my ankle. So hopefully they can figure out what they need to do to get it healed. I hope, because it is very painful. I let on like it don't bother me much, but it does hurt. You got to think. You basically got 2 holes in your leg, a 1/4 inch deep. Of course they're going to hurt. Common sense would tell you they're going to hurt. But I do the best I can. Just keep on going. I don't let things bring me down too bad. Well, them farmers just bought every one of them little houses back there. And well, like one we just seen, they bought it, and they just park their equipment around them. That's what they do. They'll buy them, leave a radio on or something in them if they leave the electric on. Most of them, they don't even leave the electric on. And they just put stuff around to make it look like someone lives there, and they don't even live there. They're just waiting for them to fall down. I did get me some hillbilly weeds the other day, and I know people's going to ask, what's hillbilly weed, right? It's poke salad. Up here they call it, I think, poke weed. Down south we call it poke salad. And I made some last night. First poke salad I've had all year. And my daughter-in-law's like, I ain't eating that. My son said, no, I ain't no touching that stuff, Dad. You can have all of it you want. And I'm like, well, that's fine. I don't care a bit, because I like poke salad. Or poke weed, whichever one you want to call it. And they're like, oh, gross, that stuff's nasty. It does stink pretty bad when you're boiling. It's like boiling spinach or something. And it just got a real strong green smell. Then you fry it with some eggs and some bacon grease if you want to. Really good stuff. I ate quite a bit of it last night. It looks like somebody's voting for Trump. I usually stay open on that. I know which way I'm voting. I'll let people vote the way they want to. If they don't like who I vote for, I probably won't like who you're voting for, you know. I mean, I just leave it open and stay out of it. Here's another one of them houses. See this white one right here? It's empty and belongs to the farmers. They just leave them empty like that to wait till them fall down. But that's got a beautiful pond. I'd love to fish in there, but you can't fish in anybody's pond up here. They won't let you. I am going to do a fishing video the next few days. I just want to let you know. I did go yesterday, but I didn't record. I was with my brother, and he aggravated me to death wanting to go, which I didn't care. You know, I didn't really go. Didn't really want to, but I wasn't going to tell him no. He's my older brother. We hadn't been fishing together in, I don't know, a few years. So I went with him, and he burned them up. He caught a lot more than I did. I caught, I don't know, probably about 10. He ended up catching about 30, 35 bluegill. We didn't catch any bass. He did hook one bass, but he never got it drugged in. But yeah, he caught more than I did yesterday. I was like, dang it. I know what it was. I wasn't feeling good, and I was off my game, and I wasn't in my spot because you know how that water gets all murky and scuzzy looking all the time? All that crap was in right there's another house that's empty. Anyways, well, that one may not be. Anyways, all that junk was in the corner where I normally fish by that culvert. So I didn't get to fish there. So I had to go on that side, and I'm like, well, it ain't even the area I fish. So I'm definitely off my game today, which I was. I done lousy. I didn't lose any fishing hooks because he had a pair of pliers that had a bend on the end of them, and you just reach it into the fish's mouth and grab the hook and just shake it, and it falls right out. I'm gonna have to get me a pair of them because I don't like hurting fish. If I ain't gonna eat them, I don't want to hurt them. You know what I mean? I don't want to hurt them anyways, but if I ain't gonna eat them, I don't want to tear up their mouth when they die going back in the water. I don't want to do that either. But yeah, he caught, you know, about 30, 35. He was burning them up, and he was impressed on how big the bluegill was. I mean, he caught, I don't know how many as big as your hand. He's like, that was nice eating size, brother. And I'm like, yeah, I know. If you know somebody's gonna eat them, I said, I don't clean them and eat them. I said, Dad's been throwing a fit about them. I said, maybe you ought to take, this says Troy Township. I don't even know where that's at. I've never been to Troy, I didn't think. Anyways, I've been to Nova. I guess Troy's right outside of Nova. Anyways, yeah, he said they're nice eating size. So me and him's gonna get together. My dad's been throwing a fit about nobody ever takes him fishing. Why do we buy him a fishing pole and stuff? So I told my brother, I said, one day we'll get together, you know, out of the blue, we'll just go by and say, come on, Pops, we're going fishing. Give him a fishing pole and say, let's go. And see if he really wants to go fishing or if it's just aggravating us about no one ever takes him fishing. You know what I mean? I think it's just more of the aggravation that nobody ever takes him fishing. But anyways, I told my brother, I said, sure, we'll get together and buy him a fishing pole, $30, $35, one of them little, you know, Zipco reels. They're not too expensive. We'll buy him one and we'll let him go fishing and see if he really wants to fish or if he's just playing games. Because he's 70, I think he's like 76 years old. And I don't know when's the last time he ever fished. I don't know if he ever fished, to be honest with you. I've never been fishing with him, never. So I don't know if my dad fishes or not. I'm going to look at something, man. That almost looks like a cemetery. I'm going to turn around right here a moment. I got to borrow your driveway, people. That looks like a cemetery right next to a pond. I may be seeing things, which normally I do. Don't be surprised if I don't. But it looked like a cemetery right next to a pond. If it's a cemetery, I know I ain't never done it. I ain't never been to a cemetery next to a pond.
Take the next right toward Ohio 511
Hold on a minute.
South.
Don't
Stay
go
Route
crazy
511,
on me.
Then turn left onto Ohio 511 South.
It was right in here.
Turn right, then turn left.
No, it ain't a cemetery. It's a golf
Continue on
course.
Ohio
Okay.
511 North
The other
for
side of the
half a
golf
mile.
course. It's around a pond. They got a pond over here. I knew it was something. I was like, it looked like a cemetery for a moment. I guess right up here is where you rent the golf carts and
In a
stuff.
quarter
'Cause I
mile,
see a
turn
bunch of
right
golf
onto
carts.
County Road 40.
That must be a little private owned little deal. Don't look like it's too big of a joint. But anyways, that wasn't a cemetery. We'll turn around and head back. But I figured I'd rattle with you while I'm on the way back. The golf course is now open. I don't know anybody plays golf. I never could figure the sport out. I don't know why you would knock a little ball across a couple acre field and then go try to find it. I don't understand golf. But that's me, you know. People do different things. I like to fish. Some people may not like to fish and like to golf, you know. Right there's where it was at. It was that little pond right here. And that little pond back there would kind of look like headstones. There's a good looking boat for sale. Look at that awesome looking boat for sale. That is a beautiful boat. See it right there, guys? Look how nice that boat is. That's a beautiful boat. I don't know how much they want for it, but that's a good looking boat. Now these people behind me going to get mad because I'm going to drive a little slower where you guys can see. Look at that good looking old tractor. That's an old International. 2 of them. Huh. It's amazing what you see when you just ride around and drive slow and look at stuff. That's the problem with everybody in this world today. They go too fast, you know it? At a fast pace, and they're always on the go. If you just take the time and slow down and then take things in and just see what it is out there, you'd be a much happier person. I learned a long time ago, don't be in a hurry to go to doctor's office and stuff. Just take your sweet time, because if you don't, you're going to have, you know, probably an accident, or, you know, something's going to happen while you're at that appointment. Something's going to go wrong. So I usually just take my sweet time. I don't get in no hurry, because I don't have, basically, nobody's counting on me to be nowhere at a certain time, except for my kids wanting to get off work. But that's another thing too, guys. I got to film. I was going to tell you, I got to film in between taking them back and forth to work. Their car tore up. We only got the one vehicle. And I had to take my son back and forth to work, and I had to take my daughter-in-law back and forth to work. And it wears me out doing it. Because, you know, you're back and forth. Then my son comes home for lunch because he only works like 5 minutes from the house. So I think he comes home to eat at lunchtime. But, yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm going to show you through Nova Cemetery. This is Nova Cemetery. We recorded this one, I don't know how long ago.
Right toward Ohio 511
I don't know how long ago it's been,
then turn right.
but this is the Nova Cemetery. And remember me showing you the old vault? I did notice, though, this one was built, I think it said 1901 or something like that. Anyways, they did turn it into a mausoleum, and it ended up putting some veterans in there. So I did wanted to show that to you. That is a cool looking mausoleum. Built in 1901, I think it says on there. And it was built by the Nova Bolt Company. So, yeah, I don't even know how they would have set them big old pieces of stone years ago. I don't have any idea. I'm sure it was a lot of
Ohio 511 south.
I'm sure it was a lot of work.
Then turn left.
You know what I mean?
511 south.
We're going to have to hear this thing till we get back on the main road. But I wanted to show you the cemetery while we're here. Because I don't know if I ever done a drive through this one. We're going to ride back here at the back part. This is the newer part where they started burying newer people. Well, not newer people, but you know what I mean.
Make a U-turn.
Newer graves.
Turn left.
They look like they're going to have some nice trees growing up. They got little trees planted everywhere. It looks like it's, you know, been newly developed. It's not been here for a long time. But, I mean, it's where they've been started burying them now. It looks pretty peaceful back here. You're away from the road. You don't have to hear all the road noise as much.
Turn left.
Although, if you had someone like Tony driving through showing you, you know, you got to listen to his big mouth. But otherwise, yeah, it ain't too bad. I came up through here a while ago, and I didn't even know it was supposed to rain. And these people right in this area got a heck of a rain. We didn't get nothing at my house. And it looks like they got what they do is they put concrete across, though. You see how they do that? And that way they can put the headstones right on top of the concrete wherever the people are buried. That's pretty cool. If you can see that concrete stretch, I'm going to pull in just a little bit to show you. See how that little stretch is out through there? That's pretty cool. I mean, you know, I think it's pretty awesome. That way they can bury people down through there and don't have to keep digging up a place to put the headstones. They already got that place already figured out. And then they know the graves go in between the concrete on both sides, one way and one the other. They do they do bury back and forth. So like there'll be a row on this side of the concrete, and then there'll be a row on the other side of the concrete. So actually you're getting double on each time. But you look at all the area they got still available.
Turn left, then turn left.
They can be burying here for a good while. Which I guess it's for the town of Nova. If you pass away and you live in Nova, you can be buried here next to this big old farm. That back there must be their extra dirt and stuff back there. Anyways, we're going to get back on the road. I just wanted to ride through here. We still got about 21 minutes. I'm in no hurry. I'm just taking you for a ride. Anyways, though, what I was saying about the video, I mean, I do have to take him back and forth to work. I get a lot of time tied up taking him back and forth to work. So I have to go in between them going to work. So right now it's kind of like in a bind between my leg, you know, my legs, and them going back and forth to work. It pretty well has me tied up, so I can't go way out and do any videos. I do have my cemetery list still to do. I got a bunch still to do. I mean, there's probably 250, 300 cemeteries still on my list to even go to, and I've not even been able to go to any of them because of health-wise or taking them back and forth to work. But eventually I'll get back on it. I'm looking forward to it. I feel like I'm doing a lot better, and I believe I'll be able to get back on it real soon. I'm looking forward to getting back on the road. I know that. I like getting on the interstate. I like going to about 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away and recording. I enjoy doing it. I don't like, you know, I don't mind the ones close to home, but I'd rather go out. I like to do some miles and go out and spend some time. See places you ain't never been. I enjoy doing that. Besides that, they have some different stones at all the different ones too, and you see ones you ain't seen, and that's what I like doing. I like seeing stones I've never seen. But anyways, I figured I'd ride you through Nova Cemetery and show it to you real quick. Now we'll get back on the road heading towards Ashland, Ohio. But we was in Rochester, Ohio. Now we're in Nova, Ohio. So just to show you, we're in Nova. We'll be up here at the four-way stop just in a minute. This truck ever comes. All right, let's head on out here.
Continue on Ohio 511 South for 3 miles.
I don't know what these flags on this post is for. It must be somebody's driveway. You just can't really tell it. They must live way back there now. There's a feed store by the train tracks. Or by the train tracks. Oh, rough train tracks too, boy. They'll beat you to death. This is Nova, Ohio, like I told you. Oh, I wanted to get me a swimming pool so bad, and then me and the landlord got to talking about it. I just asked him about it. I didn't tell him for sure I was going to get one. I just asked him if I could have one. And he brought up something I never even thought about. He's talked about the liability insurance on how much of a risk it would be if somebody's kid got in there and drowned. And I never thought about that. It would be a liability on him and me both. And I'm like, yeah, we better not. I'm like, I'd love to have one, but it ain't worth the frustration of having to worry about if somebody's kid fell in there. I would feel so bad it would kill me. But we talked about it, and he said no, and I said, well, that's fine. I ain't gonna argue with him on it. It ain't worth arguing on it because it's not something safe to do anyways when I thought about it. It does make your insurance go up and all of that. It's a real big liability risk. So, I understand. So, won't be getting no swimming pool. I do have a sprinkler. So, if I get too hot, I can sit outside and just let the water sprinkle on me. Better than nothing, I guess. You know. But anyways, I'm not going to speed out through here either, so they want to go around me, they can go around. I'm in no hurry. My son will be hollering at me as quick as I get home to go to Domino's anyways. He's wanting a Philly steak and cheese sub for dinner. And I told him I'd buy him one last night. I've been trying to talk him into not eating out, because I like food made at home, and they want to eat out. And all these restaurants where I live, as far as I'm concerned, they can keep every one of them. They ain't none of them got no good food. None of them. I mean, we got a McDonald's, we got Subways and all that, but I can't stand all that stuff. I am so sick of their food, Wendy's and all that, Arby's. I mean, you know, I just don't like that kind of stuff. I'd rather have something made at home. But anyways, he wants to go out and eat tonight, and I did promise him last night I'd get him one if he'd have let his fiance cook at home, because she wanted to cook at home for Father's Day for me, and I was like, well, okay. But he wanted a sub, and I'm like, well, won't you wait till tomorrow? And I told him, I said, if you wait till tomorrow, I'll pay for it. So guess what? I got to pay for it. But anyways, it ain't too much for a sub, but I don't know, I just don't like eating that stuff. This town where I live, all it's about is subs and pizzas anyways, and I can't stand either one. I hate pizza. People's like, how in the world can you hate pizza? I just don't like it. It makes me sick. Even the smell of it just turns my stomach. I just ain't a pizza man. Ain't it beautiful out through here though, with the big farms? Like out right here coming up, that big, with the red barn and the silo and stuff. Beautiful places out through here. Probably people will live here for generations, and just one family member took over the farm one right after another. I don't know if there's any money in farming or not, if you can make any money doing it anymore. The government controls everything on that, and as far as if they ain't gonna let you make no money, if they can do it without having to, you know what I mean? If they can keep you from making any, they're gonna keep you from making any. And it's sad for the farmers, especially the ones that does it, you know, full time, trying to support their families. Looks like I got a lot of corn planted. That's the thing up here in Ohio, especially in this area. They plant corn everywhere. If you ever get lost and you think you're going to go around the road by, you know, just this is cornfield, you mark your road to turn on by the cornfield. Don't ever do that, because it's cornfield after cornfield. You'll get lost for sure. There's a lot of cornfields up here. A lot of cornfields. Yeah, you'll get lost in a minute in the cornfields.
In 600 feet, turn right onto Ohio 511 South.
I don't know why that thing shut down on me.
Take the next right onto Ohio 511 South.
Yeah, I know where I'm at.
Stay on Ohio 511
can't believe
South.
you shut down on me. You ain't supposed to do that. You're supposed to continue to go. Me complaining about it working, I guess it decided to shut down on me. But it's pretty up through here. A lot of farms, a lot of ponds, a lot of places I wished I could fish. Makes me upset because I can't. But yeah, I am gonna go fish in the next few days. The other day I went, I'm gonna tell you guys.
Take the next left to stay on Ohio
the other
South.
day I went, I caught 4 bass. And I caught 30, I think it was, no, it wasn't 30. It was 44 bluegill.
Continue on Ohio.
I mean, I caught a lot of fish the other week. Then my daughter-in-law caught about 24, 26 bluegill. And I think she had 1 bass, and it got off. And she did have 1 crappie. And I didn't even know there was crappies in that pond, but there's evidently crappie. That's what I'm assuming it was. It had a body like a bluegill, but a mouth like a bass, largemouth bass. And I'm thinking that's a crappie, but I wouldn't swear 100% because I don't know. I just know it looked like one, as far as I'm concerned, because I don't know what it was. So I told her, I said, I'm assuming it's going to be a crappie. So, but it tickled her to death. She had a ball. I mean, as quick as we'd throw the line in the water, the fish would bite. One right after another. You couldn't even get a drink. I'd had my bottle of pop beside me, not pop water. And I went to get a drink of water, and every time I'd lay my pole down to take a drink of water, the fish would be hitting my rod. And I'm always afraid they're going to take off my reel and pull it in the water, so I don't like to leave it laying too long. So I pick it up each time I see them hit, because I don't want them taking off my fishing pole, because I have had that happen before. The fish take off. It'd be a big, pretty good sized fish, and take off with your rod, reel, and all. Yeah, I've had that happen before. it's not a lot of fun either when you lose your fishing pole. And then I had a fishing trip, I guess the week after, and it was a bad day. I lost hooks and sinkers and bobbers, and every time I turned around, the fish was swallowing my hook. It was not a good fishing day. I finally ended up messing up 2 reels and going home. I was like, I'm done for today because I've lost enough tackle. It was so bad when I lost so much fishing stuff that I didn't have nothing left. I had to go to Walmart and buy more. I mean, that's how bad it was, because I lost probably 6 or 8 hooks. I lost floaters. I don't know how many sinkers I lost. I ended up having to go get some of everything because I didn't have nothing left. Oh, that must be a groundhog, and her babies all got killed. She crossed the road with her little ones, and somebody hit them all. The mama and the babies too. They'd done that right before my son's work too. Somebody did that and hit the mama and the babies. He was mad. He's like that. I watched that family. They come over at the nursing home, because he works at a nursing home. I did tell him, I said, well, don't worry about it, son, because I see over there on the hill, and there was a mama with about 2 or 3 babies on over there too. I watched the cutest thing though. My daughter-in-law went to the doctor's office, and they had one of these outside sheds off and up, behind the parking lot. Well, I got back there, and it was kind of warm. I figured I'd get my chair, because I always carry my chair with me in my car. I figured I'd get my chair out of my car and sit out there and just cool down under the shade tree, right? Well, I go sit down there, and I look over that building, and I didn't pay really much attention to it. Okay, then I glance back, and I look over, and I got a little head looking at me, and it's a groundhog underneath that building watching me. And then I just looked the other way for a little bit. Next thing I know, there's another little head out there, so that makes 2 little heads out there looking at me. And I'm like, I'll be darned, there's a bunch of babies under there. I didn't bother them, I just kept sitting in my chair. Well, she got out of the doctor's office, come walking over at me. Towards me, so we could get ready to leave. I guess she was wondering why I had my chair out and why I wasn't getting up and, coming and picking her up. She come walking out there, and she looked over, and there was 3 little groundhog heads sticking out from underneath that building. It was the cutest thing. I wish I could have filmed it, but that's during the period that this phone of mine decided it was not charging. It's still charging at the moment. I don't know what it's doing. I don't know why it charges and then don't charge forever. But now it's back to charging again. I'm beginning to think the phone company's doing something to it. People may think I'm crazy, but it never would show charging or nothing. Now it's back to showing when I plug it in, if it has 50% on it, it'll say 50%, and then it'll show charging. So, how's that all of a sudden start working when it wasn't working? That's crazy. Something's doing something to my phone. And it ain't my charger, because I've tried like, 4 or 5 different chargers. My gimbal uses the same charger. I carry an extra charger in my truck anyways, and none of them would work on that thing. It would not charge. Then all of a sudden, the one that was originally, that I plugged it into at night, it's back to charging the phone. So go figure. There's something going on. But I keep it on my bed and charge it on my bed. I use the other side of my bed for everything, I guess, because I got my phone.
Mile, turn left onto Ohio 302 East, Ohio 511 South.
I got my phone charging on my bed. I've got my gun sitting on my bed in case somebody breaks into the house. I got that cat that sleeps at the foot of the bed. I got everything in the world sleeping at the foot of my bed for some reason. Why everything wants to lay on the bed, I don't know.
Take the second left onto Ohio 302 East, Ohio 511 South.
But he's not even my cat, and I thought he could realize I didn't like him that well. Well, he's took up with me. So he stays in there at the foot of my bed and sleeps every night.
Continue on Ohio 511 South for 4
miles. And I'm like, Cat, do you know I don't even care nothing for you, but you're here at my feet sleeping on my bed? And then he'll get up at night, and he wants to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and thinks it's time to be fed. Last night he got up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, cat, if you don't go back to bed, I'm gonna kill you. Because I mean, I don't like waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning just to feed a cat. I don't feed him anyways. My son does. But he starts that real dark, real deep, loud meow, meow, meow the whole way through the house. And my dude, you know, the dude upstairs is a fireman, and he's in and out all the time. So he's trying to sleep, and you got him screaming to the top of his lungs, meow, meow, meow. I mean, it can get annoying. But, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Okay, guys, we're more towards Ashland now. We're probably about, I don't know if you was on the main road, probably Bailey Lakes area. We're coming up 511. It'll run us straight into Ashland. I've been looking though. I'm not trying to change the subject. I mean, just shooting the breeze. I've been looking for apple trees and stuff, and I swear to goodness, there ain't nobody got none no more. You know, when I was a kid, years ago, and people had a house and a place and stuff like that, they planted peach trees, apple trees, berry bushes, you know, stuff like that. Nowadays, I don't think people do that anymore. I don't see any anywhere anymore. I seen a couple places last year the people had apples and they were letting them fall on the ground and rot. And I probably wouldn't give you a bag of them if you asked them. You know, the best apples I had last year is when I went to that cemetery. I don't even remember the name of it. It was out on the back road coming back from Plymouth, I think. And I went down to this one road and seen a cemetery and went back there, and it had an apple tree. And them was the best apples. But I don't even think I can eat them this year. I tried to eat a Granny Smith apple, and ever since whatever happened to my stomach that night, I can't eat apples no more. It made me sick as a dog. I don't know what it is. Then I tried a cucumber, and I tasted it the whole night. I mean, it belched on it big time, and I've never had that problem before either. It's like the stuff that I planted, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to eat this year. I'll probably be giving a lot to my neighbors once it starts coming in. And I still got to do a video on my garden. I hadn't done one this week. I just ain't got out to it. I mean, everything's looking decent. We've had a little dry weather, and I am watering them trees from a landlord, which, you know, he wants them to have a little extreme amount of water. He wants them to have 5 gallons of water a day, and that's 45 gallons of water a week. Seems to me like it's an awful lot of water for one tree a week. You know, that'd be what, 7 days, 5 gallons of water, that's 35 gallons per tree. So that's an awful lot of water. Well, each tree, then he's got 9 trees, so that'd be like 45 gallons per tree a day, week.